The sight and sound of young children at play is one of the most rewarding experiences of adult life. And yet, as parents and professionals surrounded by infants and children, it's our responsibility to be able to help them should an emergency arise. Imagine for a moment if your child began choking or stopped breathing. Would you know what to do? The purpose of this tape is to show you how to cope with a variety of such life-threatening situations. The tape has been structured into 2 sections. Section 1 will show you what to do when faced with the 4 most common emergencies associated with infants and children, while Section 2 will discuss rescue theories, recreate several real-life rescues, and recommend some preventative measures designed to make your household a safer place for your children to play and grow. Although you can learn the principles of emergency rescue from this video, we strongly recommend that you take an infant-child CPR class with a qualified instructor from the American Red Cross, American Heart Association, or some other community organization that offers you practical, hands-on experience with mannequins. CPR is a technique that can be used on infants and children when their life or health is threatened by an accident or an emergency. Normally, the heart circulates blood to the lungs. Each inhale brings in fresh oxygen, which is exchanged in the blood for carbon dioxide that we exhale. This oxygen-rich blood now circulates throughout the body, pumped by the steady beat of the heart. When breathing is stopped, oxygen cannot enter the system. Without oxygenated blood, the heart will cease to pump. CPR is a life-saving technique that can help restore or revive these vital systems to full functioning. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, is a complete life support system. Cardio means heart, pulmonary lungs, and resuscitation means to revive or to restore to life. When performing CPR, you are breathing life into someone who is not breathing on their own and helping their heart beat precious life-giving blood throughout their body. Knowing how to perform CPR and the other techniques shown in this film can save someone you love. Elysa Markowitz, CPR instructor trainer for the American Red Cross, will be demonstrating the rescue techniques with the latest improvements and changes recommended by the Journal of American Medical Association Standards, published in June 1986.
In the following demonstrations, you will see how to apply the ABCs in any rescue situation. The first concern is A, for airway. Is the airway open or blocked? The next concern is B, for breathing. Can you get air into the lungs? How gentle or full should you breathe? And finally C, for circulation. Is the pulse present? Is the heart beating? First, let's look at what happens when an airway is blocked by a foreign object stuck in the throat. Hello, my name is Elysa Markowitz. I'm a CPR instructor and a mother. The purpose of this tape is to teach you how to respond in emergency situations involving infants and children. The rescue techniques demonstrated on this specially designed infant mannequin should be used only on infants up to 1 year old. Let's begin by looking at a common emergency, infant choking. When an infant is choking and coughing, leave them alone. Don't pat them on the back. Oftentimes, a forceful cough alone can dislodge an object stuck in the throat. If an infant is choking and cannot breathe or cough or has a weak cough, you must open the airway quickly. First, pick up the infant. Open the airway by holding the jaw between the index finger and the thumb. Then lower the baby onto your thigh, head down, and deliver 4 blows between the shoulder blades with the open palm of your hand. Now, cup the head and support the neck while you roll the infant onto your other leg. Find the breastbone between the nipples and place your fingers side by side. Now give 4 chest thrusts. Look in the mouth. If you see an object, do a finger sweep. If the object is not visible, continue to give 4 back blows and 4 chest thrusts until the object is out and normal breathing resumes. In turning the infant over, give 4 back blows between the shoulder blades, making sure that they are a firm blow, not a massage. Cupping the head, rolling the infant over, make sure the fingers are on the breastbone. These thrusts are intended to dislodge the object with enough force to get it out. Make sure the fingers are on the breastbone and not bouncing. You want to avoid injuring any of the organs below. If the object is not removed, the infant will lose consciousness. Next, we'll look at what to do if an infant is unconscious and choking. Place the infant on a firm surface, face up. To open the airway, put one hand on the forehead and 2 fingers on the chin. Tilt the head back until the nose is pointing straight up. If an object is visible, do a finger sweep. If you do not see an object, don't put your fingers in the baby's mouth. Cover the infant's nose and mouth with your mouth. Give 1 gentle puff to see if the airway is open. If you do not see the chest rise, you must re-tip the head 1 more time. The airway might not have been opened far enough. Give a gentle puff, seal the nose and mouth with your mouth. If the chest still doesn't rise, the airway is blocked. Pick up the infant, open the airway, give 4 back blows, sandwich the infant, give 4 chest thrusts. Put the infant back on a firm surface. Look in the mouth. If an object is visible, do a finger sweep. Then give 1 more breath to see if the airway is cleared. If the chest doesn't rise, the airway is still blocked. You'll need to repeat the sequence. Open the airway, support the baby on your leg, head down. Give 4 back blows. Cut the head, roll and sandwich the infant. Give 4 chest thrusts. Place the infant again on a firm surface. Look in the mouth. If the object is not visible, you'll need to repeat the sequence until the object is out and the airway is clear. When the object is visible, do a finger sweep and then give 1 gentle breath. The airway is clear. If the infant does not start breathing on its own, you will need to give mouth-to-mouth breathing. When an infant is unconscious and not breathing, you need to use the ABC assessment steps. First, try to arouse the infant. Rub the infant's belly, shake the baby gently. Try and flick the feet. If the infant doesn't start breathing, open the airway. Put 1 hand on the forehead, 2 fingers on the chin. Push the head back so that the nose is pointing straight up. Make sure you don't tip the head too far back, as you can close the airway off this way. Once you've opened the airway, look in the mouth for an object. Look at the chest to see if it rises. Listen and feel for breathing on your cheek for 3 to 5 seconds. If normal breathing does not resume, next, give 2 gentle puffs. Fill your cheeks with air. Cover the nose and mouth with your mouth. Make a tight seal. Make sure the air goes into the chest and not the belly. Breathe gently. If you breathe too hard, the stomach will distend with air. Finally, check for the pulse for an infant on its arm, between the biceps and triceps muscle. Take your index and middle fingers and feel for the pulse between 5 and 10 seconds. Be sure not to use your thumb. It has a pulse of its own. If the infant has a pulse but is not breathing, tell someone to call 911. Tell them the infant has a pulse but is not breathing, and ask them to please come back. You're going to have to perform mouth-to-mouth breathing now. You'll be breathing once every 3 seconds. The count is breathe and 2 and 3. And now doing it, and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and... Every time you breathe into the mouth, the breath travels into the lungs, where they're receiving life-sustaining oxygen. Your exhale has 16% oxygen, while a normal inhale is 21%. Your exhale has enough oxygen to sustain life in a body that is not breathing. Remember to pace yourself when you're giving mouth-to-mouth breathing. Keep the rhythm steady and move as little as possible. You don't want to tire yourself. Continue breathing until the infant starts breathing on their own or until emergency help arrives. If at any point you cannot find a pulse or the heart stops beating, you will need to perform CPR. If the infant is unconscious, you need to find out what to do next. Here you'll need to use the ABC assessment steps. First, try and arouse the infant. Rub its belly, flick its feet, and call for help. You're going to need help. Next, open the airway. 1 hand on the forehead, 2 fingers on the jaw. Tilt the head so that the nose is pointed up. Look into the mouth for an object. Look at the chest to see if it rises. Listen and feel for breath on your cheek for 3 to 5 seconds. Next, B, give 2 gentle breaths. Seal the nose and mouth with your mouth. The airway is open. Next, C, check the pulse on the arm with the index and middle fingers for 5 to 10 seconds. There is no pulse. Tell someone, call 911. Tell them the baby does not have a pulse and is not breathing, and ask them to please come back. The baby has no heartbeat and isn't breathing. Now you're going to have to perform CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. This is a full life support system. You're breathing oxygen into the blood, and you're compressing the heart to move the blood through the body. Begin CPR by giving 1 gentle puff, followed by 5 compressions on the chest. To find the placement on the lower part of the sternum, trace 3 fingers from the nipple line to the breastbone. Remove the index finger and compress with the middle and ring fingers. Give 5 quick compressions. Each compression should be 1/2 to 1 inch straight downward. Make sure to keep your fingers on the lower part of the breastbone over the heart and keep them pressing straight down with the fingertips to avoid damage to the ribs or other organs below. Continue giving 1 breath every 5 compressions. Make sure that the infant is on a firm surface. Keep the airway open with the hand on the forehead. Count to yourself. Breathe. Compress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe. Compress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The rate of compressions for an infant is 100 times per minute. It is very rapid. After you've been giving CPR for a minute, stop and recheck the pulse again at the arm for no longer than 5 seconds. If the pulse is not present, continue to give CPR, breathing, and compressions until the infant's heart starts beating again or emergency help arrives. Even if the infant doesn't seem to be responding, keep giving CPR. Infants have been revived who've had prolonged periods of CPR. Whatever you do, don't stop. Keep giving CPR. Although children will be children and inevitably get into mischief, as responsible adults, we need to know how to respond quickly and effectively should an emergency arise. In this portion of the tape, Rescue techniques demonstrated on this mannequin should be used on children between the ages of 1 and 8 years old. Let's begin by looking at rescue techniques for helping a child who is choking. When a child is choking, approach them from the front. If they're coughing, leave them alone. The cough could dislodge the object on its own. If they're not coughing, or if they can't breathe, tell them that you will help. Turn the child so that you can support their body against yours. Make sure that you support their body by putting your arm under the child's arm, not over, close to the throat, which could aggravate the choking. You want to support their body by holding them close to you. Take the fingers and curl them into a fist. Put your thumb on top. Take the thumb side of the fist and place it at the navel. Roll the fist up above the navel, below the rib cage. Lean the child slightly forward. Take the free hand and place it on the fist in the abdomen and give abdominal thrusts, thrusting up and back on a diagonal under the diaphragm. Keep each thrust distinct, but with enough force to dislodge the object from below. If the object is expelled, let the child spit it out on its own. Or, if you see the object in the mouth, perform a finger sweep to remove the object. If the object is not expelled, continue giving abdominal thrusts until the object is removed. If the child should lose consciousness, you will need to perform the unconscious choking rescue. Before opening the airway, you must assess consciousness. Tap and shout, "Are you okay? Wake up!" Call for help. Get someone nearby you to help. Next, open the airway. A. Put one hand on the forehead. Put the fingers on the bony part of the jaw. Lift the chin to open the airway. Look in the mouth. If you see an object, do a finger sweep to remove the object. If you don't see an object, look at the chest to see if it rises. Listen and feel for breath on your cheek for 3 to 5 seconds. If you do not see the chest rise or feel breath on your cheek, pinch the nose closed. Cover the mouth with your mouth and make a tight seal. Give one breath. If the chest doesn't rise, re-tip the head in case the airway wasn't open far enough. Give one more breath. If the chest still doesn't rise, the airway is blocked. Tell someone, call 911. The child is unconscious and choking, and ask them to come back after they've made the call. Now you'll need to straddle the child to give abdominal thrusts. Place your fingers at the navel, open palm just above the navel, fingers toward the head. Place the other hand on top, fingers parallel, pointing toward the head. Give 6 to 10 abdominal thrusts. Make each thrust distinct and forceful enough to dislodge the object from below. If you think you've dislodged the object, open the mouth and do a finger sweep to clear the airway. Give one more breath to make sure the airway is open. If you have not cleared the airway, repeat the steps of 6 to 10 abdominal thrusts. If at any time you see an object, stop, sweep the mouth, and give a breath to make sure the airway is cleared. If the airway is clear, but breathing does not resume, you must perform mouth-to-mouth breathing. Place the child on a firm surface. Tap and shout, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Call for help. Next, open the airway. Sometimes the tongue can fall back and block the airway. This is misnamed swallowing the tongue. By lifting the chin, you move the tongue, which is attached at the back of the jaw, and open the airway. Sometimes that is all that is needed to restore normal breathing. Now, look in the mouth. Look at the chest to see if it rises. Listen and feel for breath on your cheek for 3 to 5 seconds. Pinch the nose closed. Cover the mouth with your mouth. Make a tight seal and give 2 breaths. Make sure to fill only the lungs. If you breathe too hard, you'll bypass the lungs and distend the stomach with air. Check the pulse at the neck, the carotid pulse, for 5 to 10 seconds. If there is a pulse, but the child is not breathing, tell someone, call 911. There is a pulse, but the child is not breathing, and ask them to come back, please. Now, give 1 breath every 4 seconds. Breathe, and 2, and 3, and 4, and breathe, and 2, and 3, and 4, and breathe. If the jaw or mouth are injured, mouth-to-nose breathing may need to be performed. Close the mouth, make a seal over the nose, and breathe into the nose. After giving mouth-to-mouth for approximately a minute, 15 cycles, stop and check the pulse again. If the pulse is present, but breathing has not resumed, continue giving mouth-to-mouth until the child starts breathing again or paramedics arrive. Remember, don't stop. Keep breathing for the child. If at any point you should lose the pulse, start CPR techniques immediately. To determine if CPR is needed, you must check first. Tap and shout, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Wake up!" Call for help. Now check the ABC steps. A, open the airway. Look, listen, and feel. B, give 2 breaths. C, check circulation. Feel for the pulse at the neck for 5 to 10 seconds. There is no pulse. CPR is needed. Tell someone, call 911. The child has no pulse, and please ask them to come back. Give 1 breath. Make sure your hand is between the nipples and the bottom of the breastbone. Trace 2 fingers across the rib cage to the bottom of the breastbone. Now, place the open palm of your other hand above those 2 fingers. Compress the chest 1 inch to 1.5 inches downward. Give 5 compressions, then give 1 breath. Count to yourself. Breathe, trace in place, and compress 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and open the airway. Breathe. And trace in place and compress 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and open the airway. Breathe. Don't be a bouncer. Keep your hand steady with firm contact on the breastbone. Don't be a masher. This can mash ribs or bruise organs. Don't be a massager. Massaging doesn't compress the chest. You need to press straight down, 1 to 1/2 inches. Don't be a rocker. Rocking can break ribs. Don't be a washer. That can tire you out. Make sure that your arm is straight, that you're pressing from the shoulder. Remember, proper technique, trace up the rib cage. You should be above the bottom of the breastbone. Keep the palm of your hand in constant contact with the breastbone. After you've been giving CPR for a minute, or approximately 10 cycles, stop and recheck the pulse again for no more than 5 seconds. If a pulse is present, stop giving CPR. If the pulse is not present, however, continue to give 1 breath and 5 compressions until the heartbeat resumes and the child starts breathing again, or until the paramedics arrive. But remember, whatever you do, don't stop. Keep giving CPR. In this country, over 10,000 children a year die as a result of an accident. 26 children a day are killed because of an accident. That's over 1 an hour. Now, these statistics could scare you, or they could motivate you to learn more about what to do. No one ever thinks an accident will happen in their family, but an accident can happen in the blink of an eye. In this section of the tape, we're going to be showing you accidents that could or actually did happen. The lessons we will be showing you in these reenactments could be important for you to learn. For instance, what would happen if you were home and an accident happened and you didn't know what to do? Home life can be busy and confusing at times. So much is happening at once.
The clean monster who wins out over the dirty monster every time.
The phone rings.
To get here. Okay, now follow that phone's ringing, so you put together the ball here and I'll be right back.
And he leaves for just a moment.
Hello? Yeah, hi Bobby, I'm here. I'm just giving my kid a bath, though. Yeah, I did. Hey, can you hang on a second? Honey?
Can you check on Paula? I'm on the phone.
All right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, neither of these people know what to do.
I have to go.
But they have the sense to call 911.
Call 911. Oh, God, Paul!
Be sure you know the number in your area.
Dispatch.
Yes, this is Lee Nelson. I'm in Westwood. My child was just pulled out of the bathtub. His blue has stopped breathing.
Okay, we'll get someone right over.
Even if you don't know what to do or forget, the staff of the Emergency Control Center can help you.
Okay, honey, I've got the guy on the line here, and he's giving me instructions on what to do. Okay, open the airway and tilt the head back.
Be sure to tell them that a child needs help. Pediatric emergency equipment is special.
Can you feel any breath?
No.
Okay, cover her nose and breathe into her. Cover her nose and breathe into her. That's what I'm... Okay, now check her pulse. Okay, does she have a pulse?
Yes, there's a pulse.
Okay, now breathe, and 2 and 3 and 4. Breathe, and 2 and 3 and 4. Breathe, and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay.
Ah, great, the problem right in here. Okay, she's right in here. Right there. Okay, let me see her. How long was she underwater?
I don't know, a couple minutes, I guess.
Okay, she's breathing now.
Oh, God.
She's gonna be okay. You did a good job, Mom.
This child's life was saved because her parents acted quickly and professional help was close by. However, they could have known what to do before calling 911. We all expect professionals to know what to do in an emergency. When we really need them, thank God they're there and can respond quickly. What is important to know is that CPR can be performed on people of all ages. CPR can even be performed on newborn babies. We're in the offices of Dr. Jay Gordon in Los Angeles, pediatrician. Jay, do you ever have to perform CPR on newborns?
Yes, I do. Sometimes I'm called to attend high-risk deliveries, and at any given delivery, a baby's heart rate can decelerate. I can be handed a baby with no heart rate and no respiratory efforts. At one particular delivery in memory, there was a cord accident. The cord was compressed. The baby was delivered with no heartbeat, with no respiratory efforts, quite blue and quite lifeless, and the baby required full CPR.
What is CPR, Dr. Gordon?
CPR is cardiopulmonary resuscitation. The cardio part of cardiopulmonary resuscitation implies that you're actually replacing the heartbeat for a patient who doesn't have a heartbeat or who has an inefficient heartbeat. The pulmonary part of the word is replacing the efforts of the lungs, breathing for the baby or breathing for the child. And resuscitation implies that you're doing both of these at once for somebody who doesn't have a good heartbeat and is not breathing well enough.
What if I needed to do it on Daniel? How would I make sure that I didn't hurt him?
Proper CPR requires knowledge of the proper technique, putting your hands or your fingers in the proper place on the breastbone, knowing how much to compress or how little to compress, and being careful. It's such an important technique that everybody should learn how to do it properly, and I can't demonstrate on a baby, but I can demonstrate on a mannequin for you.
Remember, when you do CPR, the heart is not beating.
5 chest compressions.
Technically, that child is dead. You can't hurt them anymore.
How do I know I'm doing it correctly?
If you're doing CPR correctly, first you should be breathing well enough to see that the chest is actually rising, that you're filling the lungs and that the chest is moving. You shouldn't breathe into the baby any more than it requires to move the chest. Secondly, in order to check that you're compressing the heart well enough, you need to feel the baby's pulses either in the legs, in the groin area, or in the arms at the brachial area, in the crook of the elbow. If you can feel a pulse, you're probably moving enough blood through the body by compressing the heart. The other thing to do is to check a baby's pupils with a flashlight. If the pupils are dilated widely and they don't constrict when you shine a light into them, the brain is probably not getting enough oxygen and enough blood. If the pupils will constrict when you shine the light in, you're getting enough blood to the baby's brain.
Would you recommend that I take a class on CPR?
Yes, the CPR course is only 3 or 4 hours long. There are special courses in CPR for infants and children. Anybody who's around or who cares for a lot of children, teachers, grandparents, parents, should take a CPR course. There are even incidents reported where children witnessed CPR on television and saved other children's lives. CPR should be learned by everybody.
9-year-old Annie Parra knew what to do in an emergency because she had taken a special Red Cross class in her school. Annie, can you tell me what happened when you were playing with Nicholas?
He choked on a penny. We were playing a board game outside, and all of a sudden I saw him choking. and I noticed that the penny he was using was gone, so I figured it had gone down his throat.
Normally, when we swallow, a little flap of tissue the epiglottis lowers to close over the windpipe to prevent solids or liquids from going into the lungs. Sometimes when we exhale during swallowing or talking, this tissue gets pushed up and stays open, and an object going down gets stuck, blocking the airway. What did you do?
He had his hands like this, and I did the Heimlich maneuver.
Annie, can you show me what you did to help Nicholas?
Sure. Are you okay? Can you breathe? I can help. Then I turned him around, and I put my hands around him, and I did the Heimlich maneuver.
It came out.
Yep.
Did you feel better, Nicholas?
Yeah.
You could breathe again, huh?
Yeah, wait. Booms.
But how did you know what to do?
I took a Red Cross class at school.
You did very well. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Accidents don't just happen. If we can believe the experts who tell us that out of the 26 million accidents that happen in this country each year, 90% could be prevented, then our responsibility is clear. Prevention. The #1 killer of children is automobile accidents. Keep them securely protected in cars. Fasten the seat belts. Make sure the car seats are securely fastened. Car seats are only safe in the car. Leave them there. Put the poisons in your house high, locked up, and always in clearly marked containers. Whenever you throw away empty containers or pill bottles, rinse them. Definitely mark them empty. We recommend that wherever you do store poisons, install child-proof latches to keep those small hands away from poisons. Bath time can be a safe and fun time, especially when you are there. Lower the water heater to 120 degrees to prevent burns. If your phone won't reach the bathroom, take it off the hook or let it ring. When you're watching a little one in the bath, it's important to be there. There are different types of clamps or Velcro that can keep children safe around toilets. Be sure to keep the lid down. Quick and easy locks on bathroom and bedroom doors can make all the difference if you are needed inside those rooms in a hurry. Be sure toys are large, washable, and safe for even infants to play with. Smoke alarms can give you the time you need to rescue a child from a fire. Be sure the batteries are current and working. Make sure you have your electrical outlets and cords well covered and protected from small, inquisitive hands and metal objects. Cooking areas have to be made safe too. Use the back burners first. When using gas, turn the front flames down and make sure the handles are well out of reach of small hands. Any soaps or detergents kept under the sink must be moved out of reach to prevent children from tasting these toxic chemicals. Remove cords that hang down over counters. A locked gate is best to have, but even with a gate, they can be left accidentally open. A floating alarm in a pool could warn you of a child who got past a locked gate. Go through your own house, room by room. Look at it from your child's perspective. Get down on your hands and knees and see how your house appears to someone much smaller than you. We can make our environments a safe place for our children to grow up in. We recommend that you take a CPR course offered by your local American Heart Association or American Red Cross. This film, combined with the course, will give you the skills and information you need to save a life. You may never have to use these skills, but if you did, the rewards will be worth the time you've invested to learn them. We can all keep our children safe and sound.